All right, round three. We're at Mooseport this time. A fantastic track. It's another really good track. Um, Zolder was fun. It's a little difficult. This one's a lot easier, in my opinion. There's no chicanes. Track's pretty wide. Corners are high speed, which means there's going to be a lot of understeer rather than oversteer moments. And like I said, the brake bias is a lot easier. It's going to be a lot more difficult to spin, so that's a good thing, especially for this league. So let's see. Going through here, turn one is a cambered corner, but as we get off of this line right here, anywhere in this area, the camber and the grip kind of go away when you're out here. So you really, really, really want to avoid having your right-hand tires anywhere other than the white line or to the right. If you're trying to run out here, you're going to lose a ton of time. So as we come over this hill, turn in before the corner even really presents itself, hold that super tight, and that will allow you to track out pretty far. The problem again is if we're already out here and you see the camber starts to go away as you get on the gas, you're going to carry way too much speed out into the grass. And that's going to be a theme about this track, is just slow in, fast out. And that's kind of high speed corners in general. Because you want to get on the gas early, that's more important than carrying the most mid-corner speed. And now I would say the most difficult corner on the course, I guess Moss might be more, but this one from a time perspective, it's really hard to gain time here. And we'll look at cockpit view. It's mega blind, really, really blind. So what you want to do is before you reach the top of this hill, we're going to be turning in and hit the brake. So it's another completely blind corner. And what that's going to allow us to do is be on the wrong lap. Okay, we want to be on lap 13. So like I said, going through there, blind corner. We want to brake early before the top of the hill, turning in before the top of the hill. And this is going to take some guessing and checking. You're going to do it via practice. And our goal is to double apex right here and down here. What happens is, as we come over this crest here, especially in this area, there's no grip because we're going downhill or transitioning downhill. So the more that you try to turn and the more you try to brake, you're not getting the same value for your inputs as doing it before the corner. So do your work before the corner. Hold it in super tight. Like I drift out to there, but no farther. And that allows me to track out pretty well. This corner is probably the easiest, at least from a like can't really mess it up too bad. If you go a little bit deep, the camber's here, so you're not going to punish yourself too much. What I try to target is staying wide and taking my car through this zone to the apex. And then as I see the curbing end, that's my go point. So right now, I'm essentially about to go full throttle. Boop. That'll carry me through this corner pretty well. This can be taken flat. Don't do it. You're going to carry way too much speed. It's going to take you way too far out, and it's going to set you up incorrectly for the next corner. So you can see a light little lift into 3/4 maintenance throttle, just trying to keep the speed. And then, I actually want to change my camera just a little bit for this one. Then we go into Moss. Now, when we're here, normally I would coach you to be as far left as possible. We want to be here to maximize our straight lines in these corners. But on this track, with this car, you're going to bottom out massively right here. And when this car bottoms out, it understeers and you're just going to fly off into outer space. It's actually not that bad, but you are going to end up, you can see all the sparks, you are going to end up kind of towards the tire barrier, and you don't want to be there. So instead, let yourself track out just a little bit here. Stay in the middle of the course. You can be on the right, but the farther right you are, the harder this corner is. So that's kind of the dilemma here. The more you go left, the more you're going to understeer. The more you go right, the harder the corner is. So right in the middle is fine. And as we go through this, it's another double apex corner. So we're going to hit one. I tried to target. You can see where this rumble strip begins. I try to look like, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 over, and that's where I want to point my car and let it carry out to there. And you can go a little wider here. The danger is because you go over a hill, if you go a little bit too far, now you're going downhill on a right-hander with dirt there. So you don't want to risk it too much. And then this curb is deadly in some cars. It's not too bad here, but what you want to do is avoid it because it will lift your car up, and then it's hard to get on the gas here because we want to be as much we want to be on the throttle as much as possible because this is our longest straight. This is where you're gonna get the most speed maximized by hitting that gas pedal early. This is uphill. Doesn't really matter where you go. I mean, I wouldn't go to the left unless you're intentionally letting people by, but for the most part, this is pretty easy. Hold it right at the top, and then as we go over this hill, this is going to be a very long sweeping right-hander. We don't necessarily need to hit this first apex. We can carry a little bit more speed, but we need to be not just hitting the apex, but riding this curb for its entirety. As we go through the entire curb I'm on, and that keeps me all the way on the right-hand side because I need to do the same thing for this left-hander. Left-hander, once the apex starts, I'm essentially on it. Really, the curbing should go out to here. So this is right late apex, right on it. And then I'm hanging it all the way to the left because it's another complex corner into a sharp corner, which is the last one. So all the way to the left. And this is going to catch out a lot of people. You're going to carry way too much speed here. Go ahead and slow yourself down more than you think you need to on this last corner. A lot of people are going to run wide here. And if you get your tire in the grass, gun it, you can spin out. So these first 2 corners, we want to carry a lot of speed through, right? I'm all the way on the throttle, hit the apex, and I'm on the throttle. But then here, like, I'm slowing way down, and I'm late on the gas. And yeah, that will get you through. And so I want to compare that to this next lap. I intentionally did a lap where, I should have done it on this corner too, a lap where I miss the inside corners, and show you just what the difference is in a time frame. So like here, I carry out a little bit wide. I keep decent speed in it. I come in nice at the end, but the difference in being out here versus, we'll go back to the previous lap. Oh, whoops. I'm like, why is that not working? The difference between that and staying in tight, right? So I did it again. I am losing my mind. Out wide, then this corner, no big deal. This is actually about the same. And then I do a good job in Moss. But between the first corners, and then the last corners, where I'm kind of missing this. I'm in the throttle, so I'm carrying a lot of speed. Here I'm in the middle of the track. I'm not really hitting the apex, but now I'm setting myself up good for this, right? It doesn't seem like a lot because everything else from a time frame of those 2 laps were virtually identical. But just by being a little bit wider in those corners is a 1.1 second difference. That's the difference in beer league. That's the difference between first and, I don't know, especially if you're mid pack. That's the difference between like 15th and 30th. It's a big difference. So just using that to illustrate kind of why we need to be in tight and why we need to not carry out a lot of speed. Because this corner right here, again, it doesn't look that bad. Again, I'm on the wrong lap. Brain dead. It doesn't look that bad. Like, obviously you can tell that's a little bit slow, but then I carry good speed. Like, I'm obviously going fast. I was down 4.5 tenths right there. That's how much that single corner matters. So try to hold it tight, like I said. Other than that, as I touched on before, brake bias is a lot more forgiving at this course. So I was running 46, no big deal there. And yeah, the only danger about this track is because, well, I mean, from a racing point, a lot of dangers on the track, is because you want to be so wide. Again, be cognitive of people trying to pass you on the inside. And if you are trying to pass on the inside, remember that you're making these corners really sharp, and so it's going to be very difficult to hold a line with speed. So make your moves deliberate so that people know what's happening, and yeah, like hopefully we can not have as many, especially like one car incidents. Because I felt the racing was actually pretty good at Zolder, considering how like narrow it is. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today. If you got any other specific questions, let me know. Oh wait, I'll do an onboard. Let's do lap 13. Yeah, onboard. Forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot to shift there, so that cost me a little time, but whatever. All right, well, as usual, Garage 61's got my replay. It's got my Ghost, so fire that up, race against me. Cool temps, high usage. That case, you're maximizing the car and you're learning at your rate, not weather-based. And yeah, got any other questions? Ask me. See you guys Wednesday.